All right, Trump's America First demands unconditional surrender, and that's the subject of the riff. Right this very moment, President Donald Trump is far and away the dominant leader on the world stage. Not Xi, not Putin, Trump. And as he tightens the noose around Iran, he's in position to remove a 50-year deadly plague, something that no other leader before him has been able to do. His valued partner is, of course, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and together they can save the Judeo-Christian backbone of global civilization and freedom and liberty. Yes, they can save the Persian peoples in Iran as well. They can also save Europe. They can also have a mighty influence in Asia, including the adversarial Xi Jinping of China. Yes, the noose is tightening. Mr. Trump has called for unconditional surrender. That's the end of the war term sheet that must now be achieved, as Ulysses S. Grant and Abe Lincoln did in the Civil War, as FDR and Churchill did in World War II. Come to think of it, this whole story has a very FDR-Churchill defeating Nazi Germany feel to it, or Reagan-Thatcher defeating Soviet communism feel to it. And then America First, well, that means Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Trump tweeted it. He also posted on Truth Social, "We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. We're not going to take him out or kill him, at least not for now, but our patience is wearing thin." And, quote, "We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran, and it appears that the U.S. will enter the war as Mr. Trump tells people to evacuate Tehran." Trump has the power to end the mullah's theocratic, militarist, and terrorist police state by finishing the job and completely destroying what's left of the supreme leader's government, which ain't much. This will be regime change, but without a single American boot on the ground. The Iranian street will rise up on its own. The nuclear threat will be extinguished, either with bunker busters and B-52s or perhaps without them. There'll be no more uranium enrichment or nuclearization of any kind. Russia's Putin and China's Xi are powerless to prevent their terrorist ally from falling into the dustbin of history. This is Trump's doing with his very able partner, the brave Netanyahu, who has cast aside domestic politics in favor of preserving the Israeli state on behalf of America and, yes, civilization. Though we may not have realized it, Mr. Trump's successful tour of the Middle East a month ago laid the groundwork for the Iranian overthrow. He brought the Gulf states back together. He talked trade and investment and economic growth and defense and security and Abraham Accords and rid the region of the Joe Biden odor of appeasement. The new sheriff in town is a benevolent sheriff seeking peace and prosperity. That was Trump's message. Seldom has an individual politician held so many powerful cards at his beck and call, but Mr. Trump has them right now. If he plays the hand out as ruthlessly as he is capable of doing, he will have done more for America first, peace through strength, world peace, and even disarmament than anyone could have ever dreamed possible. This is the providence and magic of Donald Trump, who about a year ago was saved by God for a purpose. And that's tonight's riff.